All right, welcome to class 6, guys, and gals, whatever. Basically, this week's going to be kind of a review. We're going to be basically going back into WordPress. We're going to be doing WordPress for the remainder of the course, because quite frankly, WordPress is sort of the standard for web design. Most websites use a CMS of some sort, content management system, and WordPress is easily the most popular one. Whether you think it's the best or not is it doesn't really matter. What matters is the fact that it has such a large following that it means that there's a lot more support. There's a lot more plugins. It's kind of like at the school they want to switch from Blackboard, which I totally get because I think there are definitely better LMSs, learning management systems, but everybody knows Blackboard. Blackboard's been around forever, so it has a ton of different plugins and stuff. So I'm not as big of a fan of necessarily switching out of that ecosystem, but whatever. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be going back into local. So we're going to be using WordPress, and then in order to execute it on our personal computer, so we don't have to upload it necessarily, we're going to use local. So local is basically just a way of creating a local development environment that will run WordPress and the technologies needed in order for it to operate. Okay, because you can't just run WordPress on your computer. It has to have these different technologies basically running simultaneously to make it look like it's a live atmosphere. Okay, so there are other options. There's MAMP. XAMPP. MAMP is for Mac. XAMPP is for both, I think, right? And then there's this desktop server, and then we're using local. Now, like I said, there's even more than those. Those are kind of just the main big ones that I've seen. The problem with these is that they're a little more fussy to get to work because you have to install the different parts and then make it work. The nice thing with local is that it's a one button click solution. You click on it, you install it, and then it's ready to go. And whenever you make a new website, it automatically makes all the things necessary. It's very straightforward. It has a really easy, kind of intuitive user interface. And also, what's nice about it is that when you make stuff in local, what you can do if you're happy with it is that if you go through them, it will actually convert all of your URLs to whatever your website is. It will upload all of the material from your local computer to the server. And you don't have to worry about any links being broken and stuff like that, because trust me, that happens. So anyway, we're going to be using local. And so today's going to be kind of just a review. I'm going to show you how to just install it real quick, and then we're going to go through and just start making, a basic home page. Okay, that's going to be the assignment. So to install it, you want to go to local. So like the word local, wp.com, and then you just click on download for free. You're going to choose Windows or Mac, type in your business. It's going to give you an install file, and then just click through and make sure that you install it. Now, you might run into an issue with this. When you do go to download, it's going to give you a download to install. You might have to right-click and say admin, install as admin, just to make sure that it does install correctly. Also, if you have, any kind of firewalls or things like that, it might be necessary to turn off your antivirus software, both when you're installing this software and as well when you create the websites, because it's this has to go into like system core stuff, like it's deep in the computer, and that's something that those antivirus things are trying to protect, which is good. They should be doing that. It's just in our case we wanted to do that in this one instance. So you might have to I don't have Avast on here. Usually I have Avast. I would just right click and go sleep for an hour or something while I make the site. Once the site's made, I don't think it should be an issue. You can leave it on after that, but once the first install, you have to do that. Okay. So let's say you go ahead and you install local, right? So then what you're going to do is you're going to open it up. Okay. And it's going to look like this. Yay. And then so when you have sites, they're going to show up over here. You'll have a list of them. But right now, I have none. If you already have this on a computer from a previous version of doing web design, then you'll probably see your old sites here. If you do want to get rid of them, you just right click on them and then you say delete site. It'll start deleting it. A little pop-up come up because, again, it's part of like admin. You'll have to accept that you want to delete it. So just be aware of that. So you can't just click it. You have to wait and click the other button as well. All right, so I'm just going to create a new site, and we will just call this, let me call it, this is the child theme site. So we'll just call it child theme lab site, like that. Okay. I would say leave all this alone. Just let it be where it wants to go. That's all good. Okay, so I need to click on continue. Preferred is also fine. Basically, it's just going to use one of the latest versions of PHP and MySQL is. So PHP is what WordPress runs on. That's the computer language. It's kind of like HTML, but with program, like with actual programming, like if then else statements and stuff. But it's a little bit weird. It uses like the money symbol and things. And then MySQL does it's basically like a big Excel sheet. It keeps your information in these charts. Okay, so let's hit continue. So now you need a username and password. So this is what I want you to do for this one, okay? Because you're going to be giving it to me, and I need to be able to get into it. So we're just going to type in VCP and VCP, okay? So VCP, VCP. The reason why is that I need to be able to get into it. This is an absolutely horrid name. And actually, I made the mistake when I did this for my personal website, the one that you're looking at this moment. I actually wrote my username and I made the password the same thing, and then I uploaded it, and I totally forgot that this was, because I just saved it. Totally forgot I did it. I'm like, that is terrible. I ended up getting kind of hacked too. So, make sure that when you actually do it, you want to have like a crazy, WordPress password, especially if you have clients and things. You do not want them hacking it. So, anyway. That's fine. So, so just VCP, and again, you can just leave that alone. Hit add site. It's gonna ask you to allow it. So you see the firewall's trying to block it. Just set it allow access. So I only have the basic, and just say yes again. I only have the very basic Windows security on here because that seems to be good enough these days. Honestly, Windows is kind of like Mac where they can block most stuff. But if you do have another antivirus, like I said, you're gonna want to probably put that to sleep. You know what I mean? So just tell it to shut up for a little bit and then install your stuff. Now this can take some time. It depends on your computer. This computer is pretty fast, so it should happen pretty quickly. But on my other computer, that's why I'm actually on a different one. I don't know if you can tell the scenery is a little bit different. On my other computer, this can take like a while. So, I mean, not like crazy, but it'll be like minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pause this because it's still taking a little bit. And then when it's done, I will start the video up again. All right, so now it made our site. I didn't really have to do anything else beyond that. And you can see it here. It says all the stuff. So, yay! All right, so, so now we just want to run it, right? So just so you are aware, too, if you right-click on this, it gives you some options as well. I don't think we need to do anything with this yet, but we will in a little bit. Okay, so you'll see that there's admin and view site. If you do view site, which I suggest, just go ahead and click on that. It's I'm just going to open up in Chrome. It's just going to show you what the site looks like currently, right? So it makes the default Hello World WordPress site, all right? But you don't have access to it. This is just if you were a user, this is what you would see. But, oops, not that one. If you click on admin, it's going to bring you to the admin window, all right? So we're just going to go ahead and just do VCP, tab, VCP. Why not have it remember me? Log in. Yay, and you can save it too. All right. So now we are in Le VCP. So so it automatically installs WordPress and all the technology and everything. That's really great. The next thing we need to do is just set up our plugins and stuff that we want in order to create our website. So the goal for this one is just to create. I just want to get this installed because this is kind of a pain, and to get like a generic homepage done. And once the homepage is done, it'll be good. So before we can kind of go into any of that, we're going to want to install our plugins and our theme and all that other stuff. Okay, so we're just going to go to Appearance, and I'm going to go to the let's see, the themes. So these are the themes it comes with. It usually comes with like the last couple of years. So we're going to add a new theme. Now, what I would suggest is going online and like looking up themes when you do this eventually on your own. Like just look up like best themes for, you know, whatever. So I'm just going to do that myself. So I'm just going to do, you know, best themes for selling products. Let's see. Best. Actually, I do best free. I would highly suggest if you're making your own website, just pay for a theme because it'll be more unique. It'll have more features. The free ones just don't. A lot of the free ones that you see, let me see, art themes, best e-commerce themes. Probably should say e-commerce. So I'm just gonna look through these and be like, which ones do I like? And I'll go down the line and be like, yup, and find one that makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I think I like this one, this e-commerce gem. So what I'm gonna do is get out of here. I'm just going to type in e-commerce gem. Hopefully it'll show up there. E-commerce gem. And there it is. And then I'm just going to install. Now, what I would highly suggest, and I'm not doing it this time because I don't care as much, but I would highly suggest, you know, installing it, checking it out, and then, you know, subsequently, you know, going from there and you know, installing it, looking at it, and then making sure that you like the options and stuff. And then if you don't, you know, try a different one and just try a bunch of them until you find one you think that works well. In the next lab series, we're going to be using Divi, and that has just a ton of options. But I want to try and keep this one simple for these couple of weeks. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and install. So it's installed. And when it says install, it doesn't actually do anything. It just downloads it. So then hit activate, and now that will become your theme. Okay, so that's good. Now what we're going to want to do besides the theme, that's kind of our main thing that we're going to be doing. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this and refresh. It should look a little bit different, hopefully. Not that great. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to get my plugins, right? So I need to be able to, you know, edit this inside of WordPress. Right now I have no plugins. So usually they come with a couple. So anyways, I'm just going to add a new one. And so I'll see it recommends all these different ones here. Pop-ups. Ooh, okay. And so they have these different ones. So there's a classic editor. But I'm looking for one basically to just be able to create the site relatively easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the Elementor. That one's kind of the easiest. Elementor. And there's Elementor. And we'll install now. Now, there's a free version and a money version. And so, again, you know, depending on what you do, the Elementor is not going to have, the free version is not going to have as good a stuff. Then let's go ahead and, what's this one? Create header, footer blocks for your WordPress website using, oh, that's kind of cool. All right, we'll activate this. And then I'm not going to watch this. So let's go ahead and create a first page. That's what we need to do anyway. Okay. Actually, I don't want to do it this way. So let's get out of here. So I'm just going to click on this and exit to dashboard. Yeah. Okay. All right. And click on that again. And I'm back here. So you can see basically we have these pages here and they're all crummy. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a new page. And I'm just going to call it home page. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and publish. And now I'm going to hit edit with Elementor. And now this is going to open it up in Elementor. And from here, I can start to make my stuff here. Okay, so I need to get rid of a couple of things that I'm not a big fan of. And that's like this stuff over here, other things like that. So to do that, I'm just going to go, where are you? History Navigator. Go to settings. And then titles homepage, status is published, hide title. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That's going to get rid of this for me. Because I don't want them to be like, yeah, you're on the home. I don't want to say homepage. It's kind of not that great. And then page layout right now is currently default, which is going to give me this right sidebar. And you got to remember, WordPress was originally made as a blogging website, right? So it does blogging first. In fact, actually, if you go to WordPress.com, you can make a blog and put whatever you want in there. The options are really limited, but that's kind of what it was built for. So page layout, I'm just going to go ahead and do let's do home, actually. See if that works. All right, yeah, no, that's no good. All right, I was hoping maybe they had a homepage default. So we'll do, let's do full width, and that should get, yeah, and now that got rid of it. So now you can see we have more or less a blank slate. Now, later on, when you do your own, they should have different options in there. Sometimes it'll say full width. Sometimes it'll say other things. So you might have to try different ones just to make sure. Obviously, you're doing this with me, so it's fine right now. But in the future, if you remember, that's what you need to do. Okay, so I'm making a big, website here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a big old picture on the top here to try and be like, hey, check out my stuff. So I'm going to have, so we're going to click, and I'm just going to drag it up here. And now I have this picture here. So you can see it's super wonderful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a website that's going to, because this is supposed to be, it's going to be a child themed site, but I'm thinking I'm going to organize it towards a business. And the business I'm going to sell is going to be cars. And it's going to be Combs Cars because he wants to get rid of them or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I need to put a picture in here. So I'm just going to go on Google. And right now it doesn't matter. All this is going to be local anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's just do beautiful car. I don't know. So I'm just gonna look up beautiful car and see if I can get something that looks. Yeah, there we go. Well, so actually, I like this orange one. That goes well with my business. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to just save the image. Come on, save image as. Just save it right to my desktop right now, and I'm just gonna call it orange car. Now, obviously, these are placeholders. Okay, you can put whatever car you want in yours. Find a car that makes you feel good. I'm just doing this one, so don't feel like, oh, I don't know if I got the right one. Just whatever car, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna call it orange car. But I don't have the rights to this or anything like that. So these are just placeholders, just so that we can get a feel for it. And, so I have something to put in there. Okay. So now with this selected, you can see over here I can choose the image. So let's go ahead and click on that to choose the image, and then I need to upload the image. We can do this a couple ways. I can select a file, or I can move this over and drop and drag it. I'm just going to click select, and there's orange car I have it on the top. I like to do things. I sort mine by doing date modified. That way, whatever the last thing was that I'm doing is up there. Good. And that looks okay. So alt text. So we need to make sure we put this in here and be like, beautiful orange car picture. Now the reason why this is important is because if you remember, the alt is what the screen reader will read, and it's for what do they call it? ADA, Americans Disability Act. So basically the idea is that all content on the web is supposed to be good, readable for people with disabilities, and part of the way we do that is putting the alt in there. Okay, so we're going to say that, and that's fine. I'm going to insert my media, and then we have different sizes we can do here. So this looks pretty good. Let's see, let's do full. Does that help at all? No, it's not really doing much. Alignment's all fine. Caption, I don't need one. I'm also not going to do a link. Actually, let me see. Can I put? We're not going to do it. Okay, so we have a beautiful picture of a car. And now what I'm going to do maybe is just have 3 sections here. So I can also do something with the style here. I don't think I need to do too much. Yeah, we're going to leave all that alone. So I'll just update that. And then I'm just going to click off of this. So just anywhere in this negative space so that this menu comes back. If I want to go back to that, I just click on the element itself and it will pop back up. Okay. But I'm going to click off. And now what I want to do basically is put something in here. Okay. So I'm going to click on this first. So when I did it last time, I just dragged it in there because I just want one big picture. But now I'm going to put 4 things across. Okay. So I just click on the little plus here. And that's going to bring up the different column layout options. And I'm just going to choose the one that's 4. And now you can see we have 4 things that we can plop in there. Okay. So and again, there's options here as well. I don't think I need to change any of these. These look fine to me. So I'm going to click off. And then I'm just going to put what I want in there. So we're going to go ahead and do images. So I'm going to do an image. I'm going to click and drop it in there. And I am, so let's go back to my beautiful car here. So let's type in sedan. And I'm just going to grab a sedan picture. And let's see. We'll go with this one. Click on it. Cars are nice as far as like an example one because the people are always selling them, so there's always a bunch. So save image as. I'm gonna save it again to my desktop, and I'll just call this, red sedan. Okay, and then I'm also gonna want a truck, and go with this guy. Again, it looks like a gray truck, so save image as, and we'll call it gray truck. All right. And then what else is there? Sedans, trucks, van. Let's see. We'll go with this one. Click on it first, right click, save image as, and we'll say tan van. And then I need one more. Hatchback maybe. Hatchback. Because usually those are kind of like your economy cars. I need like a wimpy looking hatchback. This will do. All right, so we'll do that, and we'll save image as, and we'll call it, oops, come on, blue hatchback. You can do whatever cars you want. I don't really care. Okay, so back here, and now I'm just gonna plop them into all of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose my image and upload files and select, and I'm just gonna grab all of them at once. So I just go hold shift, click and drag, or not click and drag, just click here, hold shift, click there, open. That way they're all in there. And I'm just gonna let it be the red sedan, but if I want a different one, you can choose. So I'm just gonna go like that, and we'll hit insert media. Great. Now I'm gonna in a large 1024. I'm gonna leave them all by 1024, so that'll make it a little bit easier. Oops, click and drag. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and choose one. We'll just do the truck. Insert media, and it's a little bit too small, but that's okay. Click off, image. Keep clicking on it, thinking that's going to do something. Van, insert media, great. And then again, oops, not video, image, boop, okay. And choose and insert media. Okay, so now I got my 4 there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put some text behind it. So we'll just go ahead and do a heading underneath it. So you just click and drag and put it right underneath. And be like, oops, come on. Sedan. Okay, come on, man. I guess I'll just do it up here. Sedans. And let's go ahead and just do, we'll leave it with left, and we'll leave H2. Size is fine. And we'll call that good enough for now. And I'm going to go ahead and do another heading for underneath this guy. Come on. Why, there it is. There. And we'll say trucks. All right, because we're doing all these things. Okay, another heading for here. I bet you know what I'm going to say. Vans. Okay. Another heading. And we'll just say, economy. Economy. Okay. Oops. Don't hit enter. Okay, click off. All right, good. So now we got this kind of going on. That looks pretty good. I am pretty okay with that. Let's see. And let's go ahead and add just 2 things here. So I'm going to do a tour. All right, and then I'm going to click off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Google Maps over here. Okay, and I'm not going to worry about what goes there. So we're just going to click off. Actually, let's click back on. Come on, give me back my thing. There we go. There it goes. There. Okay, good. If it doesn't work, hit the little thing here to edit it. So right now the location is this. Let's go ahead and do Cecil. Let's see if Cecil College shows up. Cecil College. Yes, good. We're gonna do Cecil College. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. So I'm selling my cars right from the Cecil parking lot. It's perfect. It's a perfect scam. All right, let's go ahead and do a heading first. And we'll just say, come visit us. All right, and I think that's fine. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do a text edit. So on the bottom, and then it's already got this lorem ipsum, but I would like a little bit more. So I'm just going to go over here and type in lipsum.com. So if you remember, this is just a lipsum generator, generate lorem ipsum. And I'm just going to we'll just grab 2 chunks here. So I'm going to go like that, Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac. Where's my site? That's not it. This is it. And Control V, and that's plenty. It's too much even. So I don't need the second paragraph. I don't know if I can get you here. There we go. And we're just going to delete that. Okay, sweet. It's totally not what I wanted to do. All right, let's just do it again. Actually, let's undo that. And it's not letting us. Sweet. Okay. So let's go ahead and Control V, and then it's fail right there. Boom. Okay. It was more than I needed. Okay. And that looks like a home page. Okay. It's not the greatest, but it's sort of there. So I at least have the content sort of. So I would probably put a little bit more information underneath these, but I think, it sort of works for what it is. Okay, so we're gonna call that good as far as that part's done. Just hit update just to make sure it's there. Good. So now what I'm gonna do is go back here and let's go to the site settings. And what we can do now is basically do all of our colors and stuff. So we have global colors. I got my primary, which is apparently what these are using. So I don't really like that color. I would rather do a really dark kind of brownish gray. I think that looks better. That blue is just kind of weird. Okay. Secondary, I'm assuming it's this. I'm okay with the secondary. And then the accent, instead of doing green, I'm going to do orange because that's kind of the thing. And then this doesn't change that one though. I'd like to change that color. Okay. That's good. All right. And then we're going to go back here. Let's see, global fonts. So primary, we have, our options are Roboto. Let me see something. Oops, global fonts, primary, secondary, alt, so on and so forth. Okay. So Roboto is actually a pretty good one. I'm generally a big fan of that. Let me see what that does, if it's changing anything. I don't see it. Let's just do rock salt. Okay, so that's doing the titles. Okay, so primary is the title. I wasn't sure if they were gonna call secondary that or not. So apparently they'll call that. Okay, so that's definitely not the vibe I'm going for. So this is gonna be now if you remember, the way that it works is that you usually have title fonts and then we have body fonts. Okay, so our title fonts, we want to be a little bit more inviting, more interesting, visually, compelling. But they only work as titles because you can't read this in large bursts. It's too much. It'll strain the eyes. So you can choose a little bit of fancier ones here. This gives me kind of a car feel. It looks like cars to me. So we'll go with that. And then the size, I think I'm okay with the size. The weight's fine. The decoration, obviously, we're not putting any underlines. Line height, that's all fine. So the rest of that's good to me. Okay, let's click on secondary. And we got Roboto Slab, which honestly I'm kind of okay with too, but let's just see what other options we have. Generally speaking, for your body text, so this is going to be our body text. Generally speaking, for the body text, you want to let's use just straight up Roboto. Roboto. Do they have regular Roboto without all that? There it is. I'd rather do regular. I think regular flavor is nicer. With your body text, you usually want really simple, so it has to be either a sans serif or a serif. Okay, serif was kind of old, and it's what they use for newspapers and stuff. It doesn't work as well in digital medium, so most of the time you usually want to use sans serif. But if you're making it's a newspaper site or something like that, there are times where it might make sense. If you want to make it look like a blog or something like that, that's supposed to be very kind of literate, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like a reading kind of thing, then yeah, you can use that. But most of the time, you're probably going to just want to use some sort of sans serif. Roboto is actually what I use on my site, so this is super popular, so everyone's using Roboto. All right, and the rest of this I think is fine as well. So I think I'm pretty good on that. And then we have text in general. I don't really need anything, and the accent I also don't care about. Okay. which is that the text? I don't know. Okay, so we'll go like that, and then again, I'm gonna hit back here. And so we just did topography. I don't think we need to change anything in here because we kind of just did it through these. So this, I guess, is just minutely. So every one of these is going to be a little bit different, obviously. This is going to change the overall for this stuff. Okay, so I am just going to, like, if I want to do like more specific, like my H1 should be something, my H2s, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to leave it as it is. I think that's fine. Buttons, I don't really have any buttons currently. Images, if I want to round, I'm not going to do anything with that either. So that's not really site identity. So right now it just says child theme lab site. I actually don't want that to be the name. I know that's what I named it on the thing, but we're just going to say, Cones Auto Emporium. And then the site description will say, get them out of here. We'll say exclamation point. All right. So that looks acceptable. At the back here, background right now is currently that white, but we could change it. So what do we got for gradients here? Let's see. Let's just do classic. And right now it's got nothing. So let's see. Let's do like, I kind of don't like the white. I feel like that's a little too, let's just do like a light gray. The problem is that you generally want to stay away from like really dark black and really white whites, especially the brights, because I'm sure you've been on your phone and stuff and you go on it and then all of a sudden it's like, it'll become overly saturated. Usually like a light neutral mid-tone is what you want. You want something that's going to be kind of in the back but also sort of inviting. You could also do cools if you want. Cools are fine too because obviously they receive better than even neutrals would. I'm not going to use a background image. I think that's fine. Mobile browser background. It'll be the same if I don't change it. Layout, lightbox. I'm not using any of that. Custom CSS. I think that is good. Let's just hit update. Okay. And let's go back. Okay, I guess we'll just hit X. All right. So that looks, I guess, acceptable. Now what I need to do is I need to make this the actual home page because right now this is just a sub page. So if you look, you can't really tell here, but well, we need to set this up. So I'm just going to click back on here and do theme builder. Oh, I'm not doing that. That's go back. Okay. Yeah, I don't want it to be loaded. Ah, you're killing me here. Oops. Nah, where are you? All right. So we're just going to do this. I'm going to take all of this out and then hit delete and then hit enter. And that'll bring me back to the admin. I went down a rabbit hole I didn't mean to. Okay. So we've made more or less have made that, right? So let's go to pages. And we made this one called homepage, that's cool and everything, but that's it's not actually the homepage currently. So we need to set that up. So I'm going to go to settings and we'll do general first. We're just going to set up the WordPress here. So we already did a bunch of this because we did it from the other thing. So we can choose the date and the time format. I don't think I really care that much about any of this currently. So we are coordinated universal time. That's not what we are. I forget what we are. Oh, here we go. We'll do it by this way, not Pacific. Let's set this up correctly. America. Denver. They're going by states? I don't really need to go by a state. I just need to it's not even going by states. I just want Eastern time. Why are you giving me all this business here? They have New York. If they have New York, I'll just use that. That's close enough. LM New York. We'll just use New York. It's the same as I am now. Okay, that's fine. All right, good. Yay. All right, so we got that. I think there was anything else in there I really needed to do, so we'll just save changes. The one we really needed is reading, which I think is kind of weird. But so right now, our latest post is currently the homepage. we want to use a static page, and the home page I'm going to use is home page. Oh, no doy. And then we will save. And then the other thing I need to do is I'm just going to go to my menus. I'm going to go to Appearance and Menus. And we currently do not have a menu, so we need to make a new menu. So automatically at top new levels, we're going to do a top header menu. And we will just name this main menu and create menu. And then we can add stuff to the side here. So I'm just going to click and add to the menu, and then view all. And then we'll also add the home page, add to menu, and make sure that one's on top, and this one's underneath. And we'll just hit save again to make sure that it actually saves it. And then let's go back to our actual site. Let's refresh this. And boom, now you can see that that is indeed our home page. All right. So it's not super great looking to start with, but it's getting there. All right. I think I already did all this stuff right. Yeah, this is the site identity. Let me see, colors. Oh, here we go. So normally what we do is, when I was doing it before, I was doing it through the Elementor. They had their own system for making these adjustments. But normally when you have a theme, if you click customize when you're in it, as long as you're logged in WordPress, it will give you the themes specific stuff. So I'm just gonna go through here and make sure everything's good. So if I want to have a logo, I currently don't, but I should probably put one in there. I'm just not feeling it at the moment. Actually, you know what? I'll just do this. I'm gonna save this guy. Save image as crop cone logo, and I'm gonna use that as my. So I just right click over top of that, and I'm gonna go ahead and select a logo. Upload files. Cropped cone logo. That way I have a logo. I feel better. There we go. Oh, the logo has to be a specific. All right, well, it's going to be just my face. All right, so we'll just crop it. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I want it to look like. All right, so right now it's title and tagline. Let's do logo options, title and tagline. Let's do logo and tagline. I think that would be better. Let's see, logo only, title and tagline. So it's not even, what's the point of doing the logo? I'll do logo and tagline. That looks fine. Okay. So that's site identity, colors. So here's that color that we were looking at before. So I did the background color through Elementor, but here's that other one. You can see though it didn't show up in the other thing. So I want to do kind of an orange color for my primary color here. So I'll click off, just in case that does show up at some point. Background image, we're not using theme options, top header options. So we can make the main nav sticky. And also show top header. So if I show top header, it's going to give me that thing on the top, and then there's options down here. The stickiness, that's that thing where if you scroll down, I'll turn it on so you can see it, that it will stay on the top. So you see how this is staying there as I go down? That's what that is. I'm going to turn that off though, because I don't find that particularly useful at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and show the top header. So left section options, store information, current date, menu, social icons. I like to do the menu in the top left. That just makes the most sense to me. And then the right section, show login register. I don't need that. Let's turn that guy off. And they also have show social icons. I don't really want that either. So we're just going to leave both of those off. I'm not a social guy. Breadcrumb options, footer options. So right now it's got copyright, all rights reserved. That's good enough for me for now. Okay, and those are my theme options. Let's see, homepage settings. Already did that. So a lot of these things you get to in different places, and like all of them, they're all changing basically what we're doing visually is we're changing the code, but through a visual means. And so before, like some of this I already changed using Elementor, and now this is, they all can access it, and that's why some of it's redundant. But there are also some options in here that it can change codes that Elementor didn't have access to, because this has access to the theme code specifically. So feature slider, let's enable a slider. I think I like that idea. Let's see, I don't see it anywhere though. Select page, home page. See, some of this I don't know what it does until I try it. I don't see it though. Let's leave that on there and see if it shows up eventually. Slider settings. Okay, I'm gonna leave it on there because I'm not sure what that's doing. Menus, main menu. Let's see, homepage. That's fine. Okay, sometimes they give you special options and they didn't really give us any there. Widgets, I'm not worried about. Homepage settings. I think that's just gonna be, yeah, we already looked at that. Okay, so we'll call that good. Oops, cancel and make sure we publish this real quick. All right, and then we'll exit out of that. And then when we exit out, it should, it might look a little bit different than we're seeing here. Because while you're in it, come on, exit out of it. There you go. While you're in it, it will look a certain way. Okay, get them out of here. And then here's my homepage stuff. Kind of like how these are stacked, but that's fine. All right, so we have a homepage here. That looks fine. Let me go back to this and see what else we might need to change. Okay, let me see. Go to settings, reading, discussion, media, permanent links. That's fine. Tools, don't need any of that. Users, don't worry about that. Appearance, themes, we did menus. Background, I'm not concerned about. Now, whenever you do get a new theme, what you should do is read about the theme. So I did not, but usually they'll tell you documentation to set up the theme easily, so you can follow this. And then this is actually a decent theme. I feel like it's decently robust enough. But you'll see upgrade to pro theme. So that'll give you more options and you do more things, and most of them are like that. Okay, so that's fine. Templates, we don't have any of those anyway. Here's Elementor settings. So let me see, disable default, improve Elementor style, looking for style settings. Most of the settings are going to be turned off because we don't have the pro version. Yeah, I don't really see anything in there. Okay, so I think that's probably good. So now I'm going to say, yay, I'm happy with the website, right? And we already published when we did the last thing, so I don't have to worry about saving anything specifically on it. But this is the part that can be a little bit wonky. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of all of this. Okay, so close out. Make sure you close out the website. Now what you need to do is we need to save this, okay? So, because you need to submit it. Now, this is where it gets kind of wonky. Hopefully, they've been getting better. This used to, like, sometimes your stuff would just get lost. Some of it, I think they're getting better, and also I've realized some things. So first I want to do is export this out. So if you go over top of your theme in here, you'll see the, where you export. And then it's just going to say wherever, and then just hit export site. Yeah, just leave this alone. That doesn't, I don't know what they're doing over there, but blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say right to the desktop. I'm just going to call it child theme lab site and hit export. And it's going to compress. And basically, it's going to make a zip folder, okay? A zip file folder, whatever you call it. All right, now that's done, so yay! The next thing you need to do is turn this off to shut this down. So you can right-click on it and stop, or you can click on this button, stop site up here. So click on that. That's going to stop the site. Now, here's what you should do. Don't do this. Don't go boop and close it out and be like, I'm good. Because you would think that's what you would do. But, and you could do it, it might work fine, but I've had an issue where basically I'll stop the site and then I'll hit this, but it wasn't actually done stopping the site, and then it gets like corrupted. It has to like do things for it to stop it. So what I was going to do is hit stop site, minimize this, go get a cup of coffee or whatever it is that you drink, go do something for like half an hour, which is way overboard, but just go do something. And then you can come back when you want to like do something else. Or if you want, just go work on your computer, do something else for a while. And then after a while, when you feel like it's good enough, then you can close out of this, okay? Because if you just hit it, it might get corrupted. And it's just one of those things. Then you just lose, and there's nothing I can do. I can't fix it for you. So I'm just going to minimize this and minimize this. And then right here, this is what you're going to submit to me, is this child submitted. It's this child theme. Okay, so you're going to give me this. Just go on the Blackboard, drop that on there. Now, if for some reason your file does get corrupted, it gets kind of weird, what you can do is in here, you can import it. So you go to, is it up here? Yeah, you click on this menu up here, and you can see import site. And then you choose that, that zip folder. And then you can hopefully that will work. I would, if this one does get broken, I'd right click and delete it, and then give it time to delete, go do something for a little bit, come back, then import the new one, and then even after you import it, don't try to do it right away. Give it a little bit of time. Basically, everything in this site or everything in this program, you just need to give it more time to start with, or to work. Just because it seems like when you try to move too fast, it crashes. So it's just the nature of the beast. I don't really blame this program particularly. I know that they recently updated and they changed the whole way they do the system. So I'm hoping that this new version, I haven't honestly used this since last time I taught the class, and they updated it over the summer. I'm hoping that this new version will work better than the old version. So basically the technology they're using in order to support the site. So you saw like they're still using MySQL, but I think before they were maybe using Apache and not and whatever this is called. So whatever. Basically, they changed some stuff, and hopefully, I think it's going to have better stability. I think there was just stability issues with the other one. All right. So, and also be aware that, like, let's say it does crash and you lost your zip file. Anything that you submit onto Blackboard, you can download again. Like, if you go to your submissions, you can download what you've submitted. So that's not just this class; that's any class. So yeah, just submit that zip folder so that I know you did it. And then next week, yeah, we're gonna do the sub pages or whatever. All right, and we'll just kind of go into a little bit more. All right, so good luck.